I was wearing my most expensive and classy dress, granted it only cost $20, but to me that's a lot. It was black, short and gathered nicely under my breast, making them look more voluptuous. You might have mentioned that once or twice I blushed and lightly kissed him on the lips, but he took advantage and crushed his lips onto mine when I tried to pull away. Desire shot through me like fireworks and my hands knotted in his hair, pushing him closer. He moaned, a deep, sexy sound in the back of his throat, giving me access into his mouth. I slide my tongue into his mouth and he does the same to me, caressing my tongue. Ian's hand slowly moves down my body, type my thigh, up my dress to my butt. He groans as he squeezes, his fingers digging into my flesh. He breaks off the kiss, both of us panting to try and get our breaths back. His eyes filled with lust and burning desire, forcing me to swallow the dryness of passion in my throat. Ian whips his head to the doorway and I follow his gaze, realizing the reason why he had pulled away so forcefully: his father. Oh crap, what a great first impression. He exhaled heavily and disgustingly looked me up and down, sizing up my cheapness as I did the same to his designer three-piece suit. And other than the strong masculine jaw and cheekbones, he looked nothing like Ian. Ian had soft and loving hazel eyes, whereas all I saw in his father's black eyes was darkness and anger. I could tell he hated me already just from looking at me, and I hated him too. Hello father. Ian broke off our awkward stare down, oblivious to the sudden tension in the room, and shook his father's hand. Mia, this is my father. Richard Marsh. Father, this is my girlfriend. Mia. Ian stood to his side. His back now straight and the look for both fear and respect for his father in his eyes. It sent a shiver down my spine. It was like I was looking at a completely different man. I didn't want to disgrace Ian, so I pushed my anger aside and forced a smile on my face. It's nice to meet you, Mr. Marsh. I shook his hand, obvious that I was faking my happiness, but I thought I should keep this formal. Mia. He took my hand and strongly shook it, proving he had the upper hand over me. What? That's all he's going to say, prick. God. I am so glad Ian doesn't act this stuck up. Ian took my hand and we followed his father into the dining room. The room was huge, but no surprise there. We took our seats at the top of the table that looked like it could seat 50 people. Richard took the head of the table, whilst me and Ian sat opposite each other next to Richard. Throughout our meal, Richard didn't once strike a conversation with me. All he talked about was work, meetings and the business deals he had made in China, purposely leading the question away from anything I could have input on. Ian noticed and tried to turn it so he could include me, but impressing, not once did Richard let it happen. I would be impressed if he wasn't acting like such a child. Buzz buzz. Ian phone rang, stopping all the conversation. He looked down at the caller ID. Sorry, I have to take this. I shot him a look, with my best puppy dog eyes, asking, begging for him to stay, but he stood and answered the phone, miming an apology before leaving the room, leaving just me and Daddy-O. We sat in silence, occasionally looking at each other and exchanging judgmental, evil looks, waiting to see which one of us would talk first. Seeing as I was most confused over why he hated me so much, without even knowing me, I began. Have I done something to offend? Before I could even finish, His Royal Arrogant Highness cut me off. What are your intentions with my son? Are you just his thing on the side? A little fling. Nothing serious, right? I mean, why would he want to spend time with someone with no financial status? He swilled the wine in his glacé as if he was just talking about the weather. Excuse me. That is all I could manage to say. I am still in shock. Who does he think he is, calling me a thing so casually? What is it you want? Money. A house. Tickets for you and your mother back to England. We have a house and I don't want you disgusting money. Then it clicked. You've done a background search on me. I needed to. Ian is my son and I want him to make the right decisions, and why am I not a right decision? I feel sick. How could such a person act like this? Ian, I need you. Come back quick. I am sure you're a nice girl. Just not the right one for my family. How about you take the money and forget about Ian? Huh. What? I don't want your money. I want Ian. I tried to play nice, but if you're going to act like a spoiled brat, then you leave me no choice. Richard intimidatingly stared into my eyes. They were black and fired with anger and frustration. I could understand why even Ian, who was strong and confident, was scared of him. You either break it off completely with Ian, or I can and will make life difficult for you and your mother. I don't bother me if he hurts me, but not my mother. That was it. The final straw. My body instinctively took over. I shot up from my seat, the chair legs squeaking as it slid on the floor, and I pointed in Richard's face to make my point seem more threatening. Listen here, Dick. For all the time I have spent with Ian, not once have you been brought up in conversation. Nor have you even been home to see your son, so from what I gather, you love your work more than your own son, so don't you think you can control our relationship after only spending 1 minute with me? And then you think you can bribe and then threaten me and my family into doing what you say, just because you have money? My answer is no. I love your son and he loves me. Get used to it. Let me just clarify that in England, Dick is actually short for Richard. Caret. Richard was frozen with shock. Ha. Before Richard could reply, Ian walked back in the room. Sorry. I had to take th. He stopped after seeing me stood at the table, obvious tension slicing through the room. Is everything okay here? Everything's fine. I was just telling your father that I think I should be going now. I fought back the tears that were now stinging my eyes, wanting to fall, and instead forced a smile so Ian would let me leave without questions. I needed to leave. I can't spend one more second with this arrogant, vain bastard. Oh, okay, are you sure you're alright? I am fine. I began to walk to the front door with Ian. When I turned back to face Richard, it was nice meeting you, Richard. I lied through my teeth. The pleasure is all mine. Our acting skills were amazing, and believable to Ian, who knew nothing about what had just happened, but to us it was all said in spite. Chapter 22. Threat. Hi Mum, I am home. I shouted when I walked through the door. Oh hi love, how was school? She called back from in the kitchen. I threw my bag on the couch and joined her at the kitchen table. It was all right. I sighed heavily. I haven't been able to concentrate all day because of the meal I had with the most arrogant man alive last night. Every time I think of Richard Marsh I get so angry. Do you want to talk about it? I love my mum, she could always see right through me. I smiled warmly with the love I felt. No, everything's fine. My mum nodded her head slowly and smiled. She wasn't believing any of it. Okay then, anyway. I need to get to work, bring home the bacon and all. She giggled, a sweet innocent smile splitting her face that made me laugh too. Ring ring. I'll get it. My mother ran to the phone on her way out of the house. Hello, oh. I am just on my way. What? Why, have I done something wrong? My mother's eyebrows pushed together in confusion and sadness. Who was that on the phone? She sat down, bracing herself from what was being said on the other side of the phone. Okay, bye. His last words were just whispers, scaring me more. Are you okay, Mum? Who was that? I ran over to her and knelt in front of her, but she only dazed off into the distant, unable to speak. Mum, that was the cleaning agency. All my clients have asked for another cleaner in my place, and because of my apparent poor service I am fired, but you're their best worker. Wait, no, Richard, I whispered. What, love? Oh, nothing. I'll talk to Ian, he can help us out. I ran out of the house. How could Richard do this? He actually used his money and power to fire my mother, just so that I would leave his son. I stopped running and doubled over, clutching my knees to get my breath back. Where am I going? What am I going to do? I can't go to Ian's because his father's probably there. I love Ian, and I can't break up with him, but then my mother, we need that job to live. It was all going so well before that prick came. I fell to my knees and I couldn't hold back the tears any longer. I love both Ian and my mother, and now I have to decide to be with either one or the other. How could someone ask such a thing? I didn't know where else to go, so I ran to Sam's and told her everything. What a bastard. Sam jumped up from her bed in anger, whilst I stayed sitting, hugging my knees to my chest. I know, and I don't know what to do. Why don't you talk it through with Ian? Because I don't want to get between him and his father, even though his father is pure evil. Ian respects and loves him, and Richard is the only parent he has. I can't take him away from that. I can't make him choose between me and his father, but isn't that what Richard's asking of you? To choose between your mom and Ian, that's why I don't want to put Ian in that position, because I know how it feels. We sat in silence for a moment, thinking of the possible ways to approach my problem. I know you don't like it, but I could always give you and your mom money until you on your feet again. Sam is so kind, and I love her so much. Thank you, but no, I can't. I don't like owing people. Not since Alex I can't go back to that. I can't put me and my mother through the pain, through having to owe someone so much. I am sorry, I forgot, it's okay. I swung my head in exhaustion and began to cry, hugging my legs closer to my chest for comfort. Shish, everything's going to be alright. Mia. Sam cuddled up next to me, brushing the hair from my face and rubbing my back. I was so tired from all that has happened this week and cried myself into a deep sleep, cuddling up to the warmth of my friend. Asterisk. So what are you going to do today? Sam asked as she brushed her teeth, shouting from the bathroom. I slipped on the top I had borrowed from Sam. It wasn't much, just a plain black t-shirt and a hoodie over it and dark blue jeans. I didn't feel up to dressing up. I am going to miss school today. I need to find a job, and soon. I can't forget that now Ian's family own my house, so I have to act fast before Archard finds out that Ian had bought it. Also, I don't think I could face Ian. He'll know instantly that there's something wrong and will force it out of me, and I don't think I am ready to tell him yet. Sam stood in the bathroom doorway, her eyebrows pulled together. I really hate it when people feel sorry for me, it's always the same look. Everything's fine, Sam, thank you for letting me stay last night. I put on my best possible smile. Oh, and if Ian asks, please just say I am not well, please. I knew Sam wasn't the best at lying, but I begged her to try. I will, don't worry. Her shaky smile from uncertainty made me worry more. Maybe I should have asked Joe to lie for me, he is a much better liar. I hugged her and left, in search for a job, and I didn't shake this feeling that I hadn't heard the last of Richard Marsh. Sorry, we just not hiring, the acne-covered teen manager said after hearing my name. This is my 9th job interview and it's all the same. As soon as they hear my name suddenly they not hiring anymore, or the spot has already been filled, but there's a sign outside saying help wanted. Well, we forgot to take that down, that spot was filled this morning. Did he expect me to buy this shit? Something smelt fishy. Oh okay, but before I leave can I ask who owns Mike's Milkshakes? I tried to act calmly. Well actually, as of this morning Marsh & Son Inc. I knew it. Richard had already gotten around to every possible workplace and told them not to hire me. I scrunched my hands into a fist by my sides to try and control some of the anger, but it didn't work. My whole world was crashing down around me just because I fell in love with some rich, arrogant man's son. In my rage I knocked over the table and smashed a few glasses before storming out the CAF. It didn't help the situation, but it sure did make me feel a whole lot better. I shook my head out of my rage. I needed to concentrate. If he's already gotten this far, then he must already know about our house. Mum, I screamed before running as fast as I could home. Please let it be okay. Please, please. Chapter 23. Home sweet home. As I got closer to my house. Thankfully I didn't see any moving vans or people trying to force my mum out of the house. I took a deep sigh of relief and walked into the house. My mum was knelt on the floor, crying her eyes out and holding a piece of paper tightly in her hands. I might have celebrated too early. I didn't want to walk in. I didn't want it to be true. I shut my eyes tightly, wishing that when I opened them I would wake up in my bed and this was all just a really bad nightmare. To my disappointment, when I slowly lifted my eyelids I was met by the same picture, my mother slouched on the floor, her beautiful blue eyes swollen and red from the many tears that were falling from her eyes. I ran to my mother's side. Mum, what's wrong? I asked, but I already had an idea of what she was going to say. She didn't say anything, unable to speak through her whimper, but instead she just passed me the paper in her hands. I froze. I didn't read it all. I only read the heading eviction notice in big red letters. I sank to the floor, joining my mother, cradling her and falling apart. Hot tears streamed down my face. My world was ending, the world I thought I had everything in gone. After crying non-stop for half an hour, our cries had turned into little whimpers. So what are we going to do now, Mum? I have a friend in Utah who said he has a free room. Utah. I am going to miss my friends, but I suppose I have to, and at least it will give me distance from Ian. Okay. I'll pack tonight. I began to get up before my mum grabbed my arm, turning me to face her. No honey, you're not going. What? Where am I supposed to stay? She wanted to leave me. To split us up. I tilted my head and looked at her, confused and hurt. Here, you staying here. You've gotten into a really good school and I don't want to ruin any chances you have from taking you away from here. My mum wiped my tears away, proudness beaming on her face. I didn't say no, not while the only happiness she found from this situation was that I was still receiving the best possible education. I didn't take that away from her. Okay, but where am I going to stay? Oh. Helen Jones next door. Mrs. Jones was our next door neighbor, and one of the sweetest women you will ever meet. She was the stereotypical old woman, knitting on her little rocking chair, with white permed hair and those florist-designed cloths. It'll be fine. Anyway, she spends most of her time at her daughter's in the city, so you'll have the house to yourself most of the time. My mum optimistically included, thinking that's what's going to win me over. I forced a smile, something I've been doing a lot of recently, and went to me room to pack my things. Ian's POV. I have searched all over school and I still hadn't seen Mia. She's also been avoiding my calls. I just hope she isn't skipping school again to work. I ran to the cafeteria. I know that if Mia would be anywhere, it would be there. I love her appetite. It's refreshing to see amongst the many girls dieting, too scared to even eat a lettuce leaf. Bursting the doors open, all eyes were now on me. I scanned the room looking for Mia. My heart sank and my eyebrows involuntarily pushed inwards at the absence of my Mia. I slowly made my way to our regular table, double-checking the room once more before I sat down, just to make sure I didn't miss anyone. Where's Mia? I slumped into my usual chair, which coincidentally was also next to Sam, and got straight down to the interrogation. I felt lost without Mia, and the absence of her warmth made me sick. When did I get this bad? When did I fall completely in love with Mia? The gentle touch of her soft skin sent electric bolts through my body. Her lips were so soft, yet rough when she wanted to be. And when I was inside her, her warmth around me made me feel whole. Oh no, I need to stop this. I shifted my pants to try and hide the semi-hard that was developing. Just the thought of her touch made me want her. I needed her. Sam looked down at her meal, which she had done purposely to avoid eye contact with me. She's not feeling well, so she's taking a few days off. Her eyes darted nervously around her plate full of food that she just pushed around with her fork. I knew something was wrong. Sam. I don't have time for this, please just tell me. I don't want to be kept in the dark, not like before, because that had turned out so wrong and I never want that to happen. I don't want to see Mia unhappy. Not ever again. I told you she's ill, Sam. Before I could finish, Joe cut in. It's her mom isn't well, so she has taken time off to look after her, and she asked for everyone to stay away, just for a while, because she wants to put all her attention on treating her mother, and if we were around she would get put off. Why did Sam lie to me then? I don't understand. Either Joe is telling the truth or is a really good liar. Why didn't she just tell me? I am confused. Does she still not trust me? Doesn't she love me? Because she knew that if she told you, you would just run and help, and you know what Mia's like. I settled back down into my chair. He was right. I would run, climb, swim to help Mia, and she doesn't like that. I need to try and give her distance so I don't push her away further. But what angered me more was how Joe knew more about my girlfriend's life than I did. I need to keep a close eye on him. Fine. I'll give her 3 days, then I am banging down her door. The whole table just looked at me like I was a madman, but they don't understand just 1 day of her absence and I was already looking like an addict off drugs, so after 3 days I am going to look like a crazy person. Mia's POV, buzz buzz. I stopped unpacking my things into Ms. Jones's guest room and quickly ran to my phone, but I made sure to check the caller ID just in case it was Ian. I am not ready for that conversation. Not yet. Hi Joe, I was so happy to hear from Joe, it has seemed like forever since we had last spoken. Hey stranger. Missed you today, I know I am sorry we haven't seen much of each other, and I had a few things to sort out today, no need to explain baby, and you're welcome what? What was Joe talking about? Welcome for what? Well Sam was covering for you, and doing a really bad job at lying, so I took over and have given you an additional 3 days without Ian. I don't know what he's done this time, but if he asks, your mom's sicken you re not asking for our help because you re a stubborn ass. I giggled, the first genuine smile I had in days. I love Joe, he's like the older brother I've always wanted. I am not a stubborn ass. Anyway thanks Joe. I owe you, yes you do. Bye, I fell back onto my bed and looked up and the plain white selling 3 days without Ian. 3 days to think of a plan. I curled into a ball on my side, grabbing my knees and pulling them to my chest for comfort and I cried, hard. I really don't know what to do. I need my mum. I need Ian. Chapter 24. Time's up. Mia's POV. It had now been 3 days, and finally I had found a job. Well actually I found 2, they was cash in hand so Richard will never know. Nor have any control over my job status there as in the records, it's written as I still don't even have a job. One is working on construction. My job is to direct the traffic at night time and then in the days I work in a factory, packaging items. It's not ideal but it's good pay and keeping busy has kept my mind off Ian. I knew that I will be hearing from Ian sooner or later as this was the last day he had promised to leave me alone. I heard a car driving down the road, headlights filling my room so I darted to the window. In this neighborhood you have to be on high alert, especially because I am alone now that my mum has left me and also Mrs. Jones. I sighed with relief as Sam parked up outside my old house. Now abandoned. It didn't bother me as much because we hadn't been living there long, only been living there for 2 months. However I am only sad because it was the first place we could call our own. Now we have nothing. I don't even have my mother to cry to because she had to move straight away. I miss her so much. I could see Sam walking up the path and knock on the door from Mrs. Jones' guest bedroom window and giggled to myself as she stood there waiting for an answer. After a while of tormenting Sam, making her think that I had left her, I ran out and tapped her on the shoulder making her jump with shock. Oh Mia. You scared me. I just laughed uncontrollably at her reaction, clutching my sides from the pain and wiping the tears from my eyes. I am glad you found it funny anyway. Sam flicked her head from my old house to Mrs. Jones's. Do I have amnesia or have you always lived there? I laughed harder but was silenced when she slapped me really hard on the shoulder. I am sorry, and no there's nothing wrong with you. Come inside. I'll explain everything. I sighed. I didn't want to tell my life out loud because then it becomes more real. Then it has less chance of being a horrible nightmare and more reality. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. I filled Sam in on everything that had happened since I had last seen her. In that short space of time, it had been a lot. She just sat froze, her mouth open in shock. This is not making me feel any better. I am so sorry Mia, please let me help. Why? Before she could finish I lifted my hand up signaling for her to stop, and she obeyed, pushing her lips into a straight line, trying to hold back her protest. I just want to forget it. Slamming my eyes shut I shook my head, thinking it would wipe the memories from my mind, but it didn't. I was still miserable. Poor, unwanted Mia. Perfect. Softly. Sam squeezed my shoulder trying to give me support. I have something that will make you feel happier, a party. I summoned all the strength I had left to lift my head from my hands and look at her. I tilted my head to the side. I didn't need to say anything, my confused expression said 1,000 words. Come on, it will do you good to forget about Ian. We'll get you drunk, so drunk that you won't be able to feel any pain. Haha, I smiled from her explanation. I could use with drowning out the pain with alcohol, forget everything, even if it is just for one night. Fine. Sam jumped into the air screeching in victory before viciously grabbing my arm and dragging me upstairs to my temporary room to get ready for tonight. Asterisk asterisk asterisk, you thought that to get Ian off my mind you'll take me to a party at Ian's house, I screamed into Sam's ear as she pulled up into Ian's driveway. I attempted to open the door and jump out before I was seen, but stupid Sam had locked the doors so that it could only be opened from the outside, but I still tried. I vigorously pulled at the door handle, almost snapping it off, yet the door didn't budge. Let me out, Sam. No, this will do you good. How? The only thing I can see is my food in your face. Sam only smiled. She pulled into the only space left available. It looked like all of our high school was here. Come on, Sam, you knew you were going to have to face Ian sooner or later, at least this way you can face him after consuming a shitload of alcohol. She had a point. If I was going to do this, I needed something that was going to numb the pain. I uncrossed my arms in surrender and Sam ran around to my side of the car to release me. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. I headed straight to the alcohol. If I was going to survive tonight, it was going to be thanks to my friend Jack Daniels, starting a little earlier. Oh, how I've missed that deep and charming voice. I swiftly turn on my heels and bestow my eyes upon a god. I down my drink in one and quickly poured myself another to help clear my nerves and to swallow down the lump in my throat from the pure lust for this man. I don't think you need any more. We don't want a repeat of last time. Ian took my drink off me, downing it himself as I blushed remembering the time I was last here for a party, being with David. A shiver crawled up my spine from the thought of being with any other man. Let's dance. Wow, where did my confidence come from? I guess the alcohol is already kicking in. I took Ian's hand and guided him to the center of the dance floor and next to Sam, who was dancing with Aaron. They looked so sweet and innocent together, their eyes not leaving each other's as their bodies rubbed against one another's. Oh, how I envy them. The music had a good beat, but it was a little slower and I lost control of my body as it followed the rhythm, slowly grinding up against Ian. I was enjoy the occasional touch our bodies would make and then the electric bolts surge through my body. I needed him. I turned and faced him, getting closer and closer, screaming to be kissed. But in that moment, the only thing I could think of was my house, my mum. And how she was living miles away without me. I couldn't stop myself. I can't do this anymore, Ian. I was out before I could stop it. Ian's smile faded and I instantly regretted it. Please forgive me, Ian. I love you but I can't be with you. What? His voice was barely audible over the music. We had already got the attention of the hormonal dancers around us, including Sam and Aaron, who also looked at me in shock, but when I flicked my gaze to Sam, in one look I asked her to back me up. I know she would always. I don't love you, Ian. I am sorry I'm breaking up with you. I could barely finish the sentence of lies. It was so hard trying to fight back the tears. It took everything I had, but I don't have much energy left, not whilst staring into the eyes of a man who once looked at me with love, lust, passion, but now all I saw was sadness, anger and pleading. I am sorry, I whispered before running towards the exit. Sam hot on my trail. Mia, she shouted, but I couldn't stop, until I knew I was far, far from this horrible memory that was once my happiest. I jumped into her car and buckled up as she joined me. Quickly slipping into the driver's seat and without a question she started the car and pulled into the driveway. I couldn't keep it in any longer. Hot tears burned my cheeks as they descended. Goodbye, Ian. Bang bang. Ian was at the side of the car banging on the window. Mia, please. I love you. I turned my head away. I couldn't see his broken face. I couldn't cope with what I was doing to him, to both of us. Please, drive. Sam obeyed and drove off down the pathway and onto the main road, but it didn't stop Ian. He ran as fast as he could, trying to keep up with us. Soon he was just a dot in the rear view mirror. I fell apart, my heart was smashed into 1,000 pieces. I hate you, Richard. But this was my fault too. I should know my place in this world. And if I was to pick between my family and some man who I had a teenage crush on, it would be my mother. But if that were true, then why is this killing me? Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Sam pulled up outside my new house. We sat in silence as the tears kept streaming from my eyes. Buzz buzz. Sam's phone went off, disturbing the silence. Hello, what? Where? She brashly hung up and ran out the car and around to my side. What's going on? My voice wobbled through the whimper. I was really confused. What was going on? That was Aaron. He said Ian got in his car and is on his way here. He almost ran someone over. I didn't want to see Ian, I couldn't, so I ran into the house and up to my room, sitting on my bed hugging my knees to my chest and trying to forget everything but failing miserably. I am so sorry Mia, no it's fine. I'll be fine go. Sam had to go because she had to babysit her younger brother, and to be honest I needed to be alone. Bye. I love you baby. She kissed me on the head and walked out the room. I heard the front door slam shut. Silence at last. Where's Mia? I had spoken too soon. Ian was already here. She's not here, don't lie. Mia, I jumped to the window and saw Ian push past Sam and up the pathway next door. Mia, please open the door, he repeatedly banged on the front door. I was surprised that the door was still on its hinges as he kicked, punched and beat at the door, calling my name over and over again. Sam, where's Mia? Sam jumped into her car and quickly drove off. She was the worst liar and we all knew she would have told Ian sooner or later. Unable to see Ian in this state, I shuffled to the bed. Scrunching into a little ball I cried into the pillow, listening to the sounds of Ian's despair as he screamed my name. Ian. Chapter 25. Aftermath. Ian had been banging the door and screaming my name for almost an hour now.